Hey guys, so I am live. I just need to check if everything is working. So let me know if you're in the group or if you're on the page. Just let me know if you can hear me. I'm just looking on my phone on Facebook. I'm gonna look for any updates. Let me just actually check the page. Oh, wait, I closed it. Okay, so again, if you can hear me, just let me know on the page or actually in the Facebook group that you can hear me loud and clear. And you can give me the thumbs up. Otherwise, I'm just talking to a screen by myself. So just post in the group for me, please, that you can hear me loud and clear. Give me a thumbs up. Let me just make sure. So let me just check. I'm here, guys. I'm just, before I dive into the actual presentation, I want to make sure that I am live. Okay. So I got confirmation. So awesome. All right, guys. So I decided to do a Google Hangout. And funny, I actually haven't done a Google Hangout in like a really long time. But I used to be called the Google Hangout Queen because I used to do them so much. So it's kind of familiar territory, but I got used to some doing Facebook Lives. So anyway, let me just dive in here. I'm going to actually go in and share my screen. And we can get started and we can get into the presentation. So let me just check. Yeah, it looks like it's showing. Okay, so this whole presentation is about how to become a digital nomad. Right now, Romeo may be joining us. He's actually in Costa Rica at our home. I'm actually traveling. I'm in Canada right now. And so we're kind of all over the place, been traveling a lot lately, actually. So you won't hear any cats this time. Usually you would hear cats. Okay, so this is kind of the most perfect quote I could find to encapsulate the ideas of, you know, why we got started and how much better it is even now. I mean, we got started online like 6 years ago, over 6 years ago. This is a quote from Gary Vee. There has never been a better time in the history of time than right now to start a business. So I don't know where you're at. I don't know if you already have a business or if you are wanting to launch a business, but we are going to talk about a lot of different things here today. And I'm just really excited to share this with you. So a little bit about us, you know, if you don't know our story, we were living in Toronto or near Toronto. Romeo was a fast food manager and he had been doing it for about 11 years. He was constantly working. And then I was jumping from job to job. I worked in retail. I worked in you know, I sold cigars. I did just weird stuff. I did door-to-door sales. And then, you know, I worked in a call center, which was like, I would consider my low point. I was really depressed at the time. And then in October 2011, we had a major epiphany. We picked up a book that was like, you know, it was one of those days I went to the bookstore and there was just this orange book that caught my eye and I picked it up and I bought it and I read it. I passed it on to Romeo, and that book was The 4-Hour Workweek by Tim Ferriss. And then in October 2011, that's when that happened. We read that book and we just decided that, you know, there's this whole new possibility for our lives and we were going to go digital. We're going to become digital nomads, which at the time, I don't even think that term was really in the mainstream. We didn't even know what that was, but we decided to go for it and go for it for good. So, you know, here's kind of a before photo from overworked and miserable. This was my birthday, one of my birthdays. I don't look very happy there. Yeah, it was just one of those things. It's like things just kept getting worse. And when we met for the first time in 2002, our first conversation was how we both like individually wanted to travel, and it was always our dream. And then here we were, you know, it was 2011, and it's like a blink of an eye, and it was like over 10 years later, and or not 10 years later. I'm not very good at math, guys, so but here we were, and uh it's like things were worse, and we were further away from our dreams than we ever were. And we just decided to go for it. We didn't want to wake up in another 10 years and wake up just, you know, more in debt, more stuck to our jobs, more feeling like we would never accomplish anything really. That was a really scary thought. And this was kind of that thing, you know, this was my low point. This was me working at the call center. I had gained weight. I was just not doing well, and I was really depressed. I battled with depression for most of my life, and this was just, for me, it's something I couldn't do. And I didn't know what was out there, and I just sort of had the courage and the fear too. You know, the fear of staying where we were it became worse than just going for it and kind of stepping out into this more uncertain path. And so November 2011, we jumped, and we've never looked back since. You know, we've created multiple six-figure business, traveled to Costa Rica, Panama, Nicaragua, US, Europe, lived in resorts and mountaintops, and, you know, now living near the beach in Costa Rica, like 10-15 minute walk away from probably, I would say, the most beautiful beach we've seen. Lots of wild animal encounters. If you've ever followed my Facebook, you know, I've shared nights where I've woken up to tarantulas on our bed, literally, because we have cats and they like to bring presents. Well, in Costa Rica, when a cat brings you a gift, it can get very scary. It's not just a mouse or a rat. It can be a tarantula, it can be a scorpion, it can be a snake. And so it's just crazy times. You know, we've been ziplining, Tarzan swing, bungee jumping. Like I just did that. We did that this past December, and it was terrifying. Biggest jump bungee in all of like South Central America. It was crazy. And the most important, we've been able to spend every day together. I mean, that's what we wanted when we were both working jobs. We just never saw each other, and we wanted to spend time together. So, you know, in our business, we have created multiple income streams. We've worked with many different mentors, multimillionaire mentors, been to a lot of live digital business events. We've built numerous teams in different business models. I've gotten a chance to speak on stage and broadcasted to thousands of entrepreneurs around the world. Been on TV. You know, this is still kind of crazy to me. I still feel like I kind of need to pinch myself that this is something that actually happened to me. But most importantly is we've actually helped people create 5- and 6-figure businesses, and some for the first time after struggling for years. So why do I share this? I'm not sharing this to brag or anything. I just want you to know that, showing you from where we came from. You know, Romeo was a fast food manager, and I worked in a call center. Then I became a personal trainer. And we had no experience online. It wasn't anything like that. We had no experience in networking. We had no experience in having any kind of following or anything online. We started from scratch. And I think that anyone can do it. Anyone can just start and just get started. And you can be, you know, in a year, in 2 years, in 5 years, you can also look back and be amazed at all the things you've accomplished. Just like that's how I feel. So in this training today, we're going to go through, I'm just going to keep checking my Facebook in case I get cut off or something like that. But in this training, we're going to go over the anatomy of a digital business, who it's for and the benefits of it, the top 5 mistakes to avoid when starting online, how to find your passion and profitable niche. And this is actually something really cool. When I stumbled upon it, it just like blew my mind. So that's going to be really good. How to choose what to sell online, and then how to grow your business online. So there's going to be a lot of content here. And honestly, people don't share this in trainings. You know, this is not stuff that people share. Maybe you've jumped on a lot of webinars and people tell you what they're going to tell you, but they end up just telling you their story and then show you some testimonials and then sell you the product that's supposed to teach you. I'm actually going to teach you things that normally people don't. So you know, I would really pay attention here if you're going to take notes or anything like that. I'm really just giving you the goods. Like this is it's kind of crazy. You know, people watch this, they're going to be surprised at how much info we're going to give here. So anatomy of a digital business. You know, there are different business models online. This is the one that we have experience with, and this is generally, I mean, this is like any business, right? Offline business or online. You have your traffic, right? So online traffic sources are blogging, you know, maybe a current audience, social media, offline networks, paid advertising, email lists. So there's lots of different methods of building traffic online, but it's like, you know, offline. If someone has a store and they need people, obviously, right? So for example, if someone has a store in the mall versus has a store out on an island, right? Who's going to get the traffic? And then how do they get that traffic? Do they get it through advertising, through billboards, through newspapers, right? That kind of thing. It's the same idea online. Then the next thing is you and your brand. And we do teach branding up front because we believe it's what creates that long-term sustainable business for you. And then that brand leads to an offer or product or service. And then there's a sales process that happens, right? So this is generally the kind of layout of a business, right? And it's the same for a business offline. So it's very similar ideas. It's just done in a different way. And I would say it's much easier. You know, Romeo worked in fast food, and he was helping to manage this entire kind of small franchise. And it was a lot of work, right? So coming online and just doing some things on the computer is much different in my eyes. Yes, there's learning curves. Yes, it can be challenging, but it's not anything like what it was for us before. And so I think this is easier than doing something, you know, even with manual labor or anything like that. You just have to be willing to learn. And we're going to dive more into, you know, who it's for, who it's not for. In short, a digital business needs obviously a product or service to sell online, a way to build an audience, a way to collect leads and prospects, some form of sales funnel. This can be simpler than most people imagine. You know, it doesn't have to be complex. And then customer support. This is kind of the bare bones of what a business needs to succeed online, to become profitable. So being completely real and honest here, and I'm going to tell you guys, I'm always honest. I'm always really upfront about things. And I am going to be maybe, you know, I might touch some buttons today. So I want you to stay open and just really listen, because I am going to really share who I think digital business is for and who I think it's not for. And so you got to be kind of open to that, because we've seen and worked with so many people over these few years that we've been around, and it's just seeing patterns and seeing things. And I'm going to share that with you. So a digital business is for someone who is willing to approach their business like any business owner would, whether it's online or offline. And this includes rolling up their sleeves and doing the necessary research about their target market, competitors, setting goals, investing in their business long-term, and getting to work. For example, someone opening a franchise would do their due diligence when it comes to store location, traffic, profit and loss statistics, education and training. You know, some franchises make you pay to take mandatory training before you can even buy the franchise license. And of course, investing in the business itself and what it entails, marketing, advertising, etc. So who is it for? A digital business is for someone that is willing to learn new skills. It's not someone that finished school and said, I'm never learning anything ever again. Someone who is fairly comfortable with taking risks. And this is a big thing. You know, this is something I think really worth talking about. With any business, there's always risk involved, and every entrepreneur has to be open to handle that. And I'm not talking about, you know, drastic major risk taking, but there has to be some kind of tolerance for risk. And it doesn't mean right away, you know, this is something you can grow. It's like a muscle, right? I mean, I was fairly secure for many years, but miserable in it. You know, I had jobs and I was secure in that, but it was miserable. And so I was willing to take risks and willing to change, to try something new, which is really scary, and it is scary, but I was willing to take that risk, right? And when you build a business, you have to be open to that. You have to be willing to take those risks. You have to be willing to take advice and guidance, willing to take responsibility, willing to invest in your business, able and willing to learn how to self-manage, You are your own boss, right? There's days when you have to ask yourself, based on the work that I did today, would I fire myself or would I hire myself, right? You're the boss. And self-management is really, really important. You have to also be very adaptable to a constantly changing online climate. The internet will always change and evolve, so digital business owners must do the same. This is kind of one of those things, essentially what I'm telling you here is that if you want to be a nomad, a digital business owner, however it is, whatever you want to call yourself, you have to be open to change, right? You have to be willing to change and think differently and try new things. And if you're really not comfortable with that and you really don't want to do that, then it's not for you, right? So who is it not for? It's not for someone who's completely risk averse. It doesn't mean you have to be high risk, but if you want to live your life completely safe and secure, then building a digital business may not be for you. And this is something you got to ask yourself, right? You have to, someone who it's not for has an inability to take responsibility for losses, failures, missteps, mistakes, and even poor decisions, and then to move forward as quickly as possible. There's going to be times when you do something that maybe is a complete failure or a mistake or whatever you want to call it, but honestly, it isn't that. And as an entrepreneur, having experience in this and having made a lot of mistakes myself and faced a lot of challenges, I had to pick myself up and I had to take responsibility for the decisions that I made. So if I joined a business or if I bought traffic and it didn't work, I still ultimately take responsibility for that because it's my choice. It's my choice to do those things. And sometimes things don't work out, companies close or companies, whatever it is, right? Things can happen, but ultimately you're the business owner. And so you have to move forward quickly or as quickly as you can. Yes, we can kind of, get down for a moment, but we have to dust ourselves off and get up and keep going. And you are gonna, it's not for someone that's also in perpetual student mode. You must at some point get into action. There's only so much you can learn. And what happens is if you keep learning and learning and learning, that overwhelm is just gonna keep increasing. And it can be debilitating. You get to the point where it feels like you know too much and what the heck am I supposed to do? You don't even know where to start. And so it's a combination of learning and then applying that knowledge, right? Learning is definitely important, but you must also push yourself into action. You have to get into action mode because experience is one of the best teachers, right? You can learn from mentors and you can model, but then experience will also teach you. So, and then the last thing is not willing to listen and learn from mentors and personal experience, right? If you're not willing to listen to someone that's done something that maybe you're trying to do, and you keep trying to do your own thing, it's going to take much longer to get there, and it's going to be kind of a kick in the butt experience more than anything, right? So what are the benefits of digital business? This is the whole reason we got into it, right? Compared to traditional brick and mortar offline business models, there's a very low potential overhead for online business, which means you can get started and you can build a business online and you're not investing, thousands and thousands of dollars into things. And you're not, even sometimes hundreds and thousands of dollars people have to invest into building a franchise, right? Millions even. It's different, online. There's a few things maybe you can even start for free, and you build up some things. You can get some tools, right? But you can get started on a very limited budget, and it's possible for everyone to do that. And so that's why this is that time when anyone can start a business. So also, unlike offline businesses, you are completely mobile, right? This is for us one of those big things that we wanted. Which means you can run your business on the go while traveling at any time of day or night and be completely location independent. It is completely possible to build your business online also solo, which means you do not have to have a business partner or a big team. You can build it by yourself, and then afterwards you can outsource, you can scale up, you can build a team later, but you can start by yourself and you can build a successful business. There's also the ability to outsource or even to sell your business online later. There's a lot of things you can do once you get it off the ground. So, okay, this is going to be those honest truth bombs that I'm going to be sharing with you. And this is guys, this is from personal experience. This is from me seeing people behind the scenes crying and breaking down, myself crying and breaking down many times, just from seeing these patterns over and over and over again, and sometimes feeling just really like shit about it, honestly. So this is the place that I'm sharing this with you from, so that hopefully you don't go down these paths or get kind of stuck in a loop. So first one is, this is a mistake, okay? Looking for a push button business. There is no such thing. So stop looking for one. Just like there's no magic pill to get healthy and fit, there's no magic button to push with business. There isn't. And the thing is, though, there's a lot of hype out there that will tell you that there is. And only people that are experienced, only people that have been around really know what's happening. People that are newer to it, or people that maybe don't have too much experience in online business, they don't know that. And then they get sucked into these kind of hype businesses that come and go. I mean, right now I have a bunch of friends and peers that are going through hell because another business shut down that they put so much into. And it's not one, it's a few, and they're getting hit. And it's like, it sucks. And it's because, some of it, the way that it was advertised was just not, it wasn't cool, right? And it hurt a lot of people. And that happens. At the same time, I will say, you got to pick yourself up and keep going. But if you can kind of go into it with eyes wide open more, just like if you want to get fit, you're not going to go hunting for that magic pill forever. Why not just roll up your sleeves and get to work and do something that works now, right? And start to feel better now. And just the same, start building your business now while everyone else is kind of jumping around and going from shiny ball to shiny ball, right? Why not just get your hands dirty and just get started? Second is joining a business that you have absolutely no interest in, and worse yet, one that goes completely against your core values. This is a big one too. And this has everything to do with the first one. These push button businesses, usually they don't really revolve necessarily around a solid product. And sometimes that's not clear. And so people end up selling something they don't even understand or want. And, I've been in that position. I mean, we got started, we tried many different things, different business opportunities, MLM, just different kinds of business models. And we stood behind the things that we believed in. But even when those things changed, the businesses we were promoting shifted and they didn't align anymore with our core values, it became really painful to sell. Like it was not a good feeling. And so that was the point where we had to shift our focus and kind of realize that, and I will say this, your vision for how you want your life to look with this digital business, with becoming a digital nomad, is your vision, right? Strategies and things like that and the ways you get there can change, but your vision doesn't. And so sometimes you have to change some things, hence being adaptable as an entrepreneur, right? And you have to always listen to your core values, to your heart. I really believe that. And it's not that foo-foo stuff where it's like, oh, just follow your heart. And it's not, it's important, but it's coming from that business experience. I'm telling you that from business experience, that it's the least painful way to build a business, right? If you do follow your heart, it's just the way it works, because you're the common denominator in everything. So any business you join, you're there. You're the one building it. And so you have to be happy with yourself, with what you're doing. And even if you do become a digital nomad, but you hate your business, is it worth it? No, because it's just another kind of, if you're going from a job into building a digital business, but you hate your digital business, it's just like another job. What's the point, right? Third is starting a business, investing in it with time, money, and resources, and then quitting because something better came along. And this is a perpetual cycle. Many people get caught in online, which eventually leads them to quit entirely due to frustration. I've seen this the most in the 6 years that we've been online. This is what I see people do, and there's a pattern. And only if you've seen it for a certain amount of time do you see the pattern. If someone hasn't been around long enough, they don't see it, right? 4, buying into the hype because of reason number 1, because of push button businesses, right? I'm not saying that they can't work. It's just they don't stay around for too long, in all honesty, right? And then 5, investing, and this was probably the most painful thing for me to see. and for us, when we got started, so let me just read it. So investing large, exorbitant amounts of money into business without enough due diligence, like spending $15,000 on traffic in one shot without ever having done paid traffic, or investing in a $30,000 mastermind without enough research. I've seen people do this and not get anything out of it. That's a hit. And even more than that, 60,000. That's a huge hit. I mean, those are big numbers, right? And people do it. And it sucks when it's those situations where, it should have turned out better, but it didn't, right? I mean, when we got started, we invested about 10,000 into our business, but it was a good investment for us. And that's something that really propelled us and helped us a lot. We went to a live retreat, a live mastermind, and it was one of the greatest experiences we had that really launched and propelled us a lot further, accelerated our success a lot more. So that's definitely worth it for me. But, even now, I mean, even having spent thousands of dollars on different things, I'll still do my due diligence. I will look into things. For example, like even cryptocurrency. I mean, everyone's a cryptocurrency expert these days. Does that mean that everyone in my newsfeed all of a sudden became really good at money management and financing and trading and all of that just overnight? Did they all become experts in it? Maybe not. I'm not saying there aren't any, but there are experts out there, people that are actually really studying it and really learning about it. But we haven't invested in it because I just don't know enough about it. And I don't have enough time right now to look into it. And so maybe I'll kick myself later, maybe not, but I'm not going to do it unless I do my own due diligence, right? And people don't do that enough. And you have to. So if you are going to go into a business, be sure about it. Be sure about it. Then once you invest, you got to own it and you got to do everything you can with it to make it work, right? Once you do it, you do it. But this is that other thing. What I was saying is even now when I buy a course, I just bought a Facebook ads course and really did my research, spend $1,000. And I'm really happy that I did that because I already see the benefits of doing that, right? So but I'll still do my research, and I'll be sure about it. So just really think about all this stuff, guys. So next, we're going to dive into how to choose what to sell online, what you will need to launch your business, and how to grow your business online. And I'm going to say after hearing all that, if you are still here, then I think you definitely want to be a digital nomad. This is your path, right? And whatever you want to call yourself, we call ourselves the digital beach bums. Whatever it is you want to call yourself, you want to be location independent, or you just want to stay home more with your family, or you want to quit your job, whatever it is, right? You're here because it's something that you can't not do, right? I'm in a place where this is going to be something I'm always going to do. I love what I do. I can't even tell you how much I love what I do. And I never felt like this before in any jobs that I had or anything. And I was searching for that. And so, okay, how to choose what to sell online. So choose your ideal business model. There's many different ways to make money online. You can create your own product from scratch. It can be physical or digital. You can sell a service, for example, coaching, consulting, anything like that. You can become an affiliate partner or referral affiliate, and I'm going to talk a lot about that a little bit later on in the presentation. You can become an independent distributor for a network marketing company. You can sell e-com products, e-commerce, and there's more, right? But this is kind of an idea of the general ways that you can make money online. And we have experience in pretty much all of these, right? We've done everything, we've tried everything, and we've kind of carved out our own niche. And I'm going to talk a lot about that just in a moment. But these are the ideas. I saw actually someone comment in the group where they feel like they have a lot of ideas of what they want to do, but the ideas are already taken. You can't really think that way online. There's always going to be competition. And in fact, competition is good because it means there's a market for it, right? This is where that market research comes in. And when you see that and you see that there's competition, it's a good thing because it means that people are buying whatever it is, that product that is being sold or service. And so you can go into that niche and you just carve out your own little kind of piece of it, right? And we do teach this. We teach how to do this effectively and all of that. But don't let it dissuade you from doing it. In fact, that's the path to go down if that's really what you want to do. So easiest place to start, sell a product that's already been created. You know, for us, when we got started, we didn't know anything, like literally nothing. And we were in a place where we had to make money. And so we realized that we could learn a whole million ton of skill sets right away, or we could sell something that was already created and just focus on the selling aspect of it, of marketing. And then from there, later on, we can, you know, learn how to create a product and how to do all the back end part of that business. So easiest place to start is sell something that already exists. So selling your own products versus selling other people's products. Your own products, it's far more involved because you're creating everything, such as the product, the sales process. You have to know about how to sell, merchants, customer support. You're doing all the marketing and advertising. You are doing the front end and the back end of the business, right? If you have the ability to have a team, if you have the ability to outsource, then this can work great. But if you're working on your own, this is you're just going to get kind of drowned in creating all of these processes, especially if you don't have experience. I mean, the selling process itself is something that can take up a lot of your time just to learn and a lot of experience. And there's all these other moving parts. Versus selling other people's products, it's simpler because the back end is created. You know, they do the merchant stuff, they do the customer support, they do the sales process. You know, they sometimes even provide you with sales videos and, you know, other sales tools, and they do the promotional cycles, right? All you have to do is focus on marketing and advertising the front end, which means that your skills, instead of learning 100 skills, you're maybe learning 5, right? And that's a lot easier, and then you can ease into it and do more as you gain experience, but you can get into profit much faster, right? Because your skill set, all of a sudden, it's a lot less things you have to focus on learning. But before we dive into researching products and services to sell, we must dive into a key exercise that can help you to know where to start. And this is the thing for me it was funny because Romeo actually showed me what I'm about to show you. He showed it to me. I was like, this doesn't make sense. This doesn't make any sense to me. I don't know how I can even teach something like this. But then I took a look at it, and let me just actually check if I'm still on. I think I'm still live. Yeah, I guess I'm still live. But then when I took a look at it, I realized, you know what? I've actually been doing this all along. And so this is something that was made like a major breakthrough for me. And I hope that it can also cause a breakthrough for you if you're kind of in that phase where you're still searching. So this is a concept called ikigai. It's a Japanese concept meaning a reason for being. And I'm going to go into breaking down all of these pieces. So actually, let me just come out of the full screen here because I want to use my pointer. All right, so as you can see, right, there's all these different sections here. So we're going to start with here. So coming from, so let me actually go back here, right? They kind of all overlap and overlay and create different parts of this whole equation. So starting with, right, what you love, overlapping that with what the world needs, and also with what you can be paid for and what you are good at. And let me just explain how these kind of work all together. So if you only focus on what you love and what the world needs, that's like your mission, right? And you will feel a sense of delight and fullness, but no wealth. This is kind of that starving artist kind of situation, right? Where people say, you know, you can follow your passion, but then they're still broke, right? This is that place because you're only fulfilling 2 of these things. Then the next thing is what you can be paid for and what the world needs, right? No longer looking at what you love. That's like a vocation. So there can be an excitement and complacency, but a sense of uncertainty. And so between here and here, so what you are good at and what you can be paid for, profession, this is kind of like that job kind of situation, right? Comfortable, but feeling of emptiness. I mean, this is what I lived for years when I was working in jobs, when I was working in the call center. I was so far from what I loved that I was miserable. You know, I was good at it. I kept getting promoted and I hated it. Every time I got promoted, the feeling in my gut just got worse. And then, I like being paid for it because obviously there's security in that, but I was miserable. I was absolutely miserable. And then combining what you are good at and what you love, there's a feeling of satisfaction, but also uselessness because you're not doing you're not kind of fulfilling a certain need. So let me kind of break down an example of this. How can you apply this to yourself? So you do this by asking yourself 4 questions, right? And I urge you to write this down and to really sit with it, after we're done the presentation, and ask yourself this. What do I love? What am I good at? What can I be paid for now? Or something that you can transform into a skill set, but something you have interest in now, right? And what does the world need? These are the 4 questions. So let me show you how I applied it to myself. So let's say, we got started online, and like I shared, we had no experience. So what the heck did we do, right? I had experience in being a personal trainer, and I had been training people. I was a running coach, and I did love it, right? And so I started there. I started with what I loved. I liked fitness. I liked training. I did like studying people. I loved seeing people transform, which was kind of like psychology, and writing. I did love writing. And so these things I sort of kind of thought of, and again, I didn't know about this Ikigai method, but I was doing it kind of unconsciously these past few years, right? So I love that. And then what the world needs, which I believe is inspiration and real world examples of transformation. So I would apply a lot of things to my own life, and as a trainer, I was providing this. So I did feel a mission to it, but I was not wealthy, right? I loved seeing people transform, but I wasn't running my business well. I wasn't running it as a business, as a profession. I was fulfilling just this kind of circle here, these 2 circles, right? So I was a mission, and I loved it, but I was still missing pieces in how I wanted to live my life. I wanted to be location independent and all of that, right? Then combining, I can be, what can I be paid for? Well, I knew that I could be paid for being a coach, right? I was a fitness trainer. I had coached people in running, and so I was good at it, and I knew how to inspire people, and I had seen it happen, right? So I knew I could be paid for it because I was already paid for it as a trainer. And then what I was good at, well, I knew that I was good at learning and applying because I liked that. I liked applying things in my life. I was always the kind of trainer that, I would try whatever I was going to do with my clients, and I would be able to do it myself. And so I had a passion for studying and applying and experimenting on myself and learning that way, right? So I love studying people, and I transformed that into a passion in marketing. And so I began with this, and then this love of fitness, we took online into a blog. I created a fitness blog, and I started blogging about that, and then just blogging about my life, blogging about health and fitness. And it slowly morphed into now where I teach digital marketing, right? And it changed. And the thing is that when you set out on this, when you start doing this, the path that you go down might be completely different later, and that's okay. But this is that thing where you have to kind of take this concept and you have to apply it, and then you have to get into action mode, right? You're not going to know what's going to be ahead. Like, I'm just going to tell you that as an entrepreneur, you're never going to really be 100% certain. You're not. And this is that thing where you have to be a little bit open to risk. You have to be open to being okay with change. And as long as you keep taking the steps in front of you and keep going with your gut and kind of follow this kind of this approach to your business, then you're going to succeed much faster than, let's say, you getting stuck in the next push button thing or in the hype of something, right? It's just going to lead you back down to coming back to this. And I've learned that as long as I, even in times in our business when I lost my way or I felt, or we were really struggling, I would always look to asking myself these kinds of questions, and it would get me back on track. And before you knew it, not only was I loving what I was doing, but we were back in profit again. And that's the funny thing. Like, that's why I knew that when I really looked at this and I took the time to understand it, I was like, this is what I've been doing all along. And this is also why I was miserable before, because I was not fulfilling these. And I can say with 100% certainty now, I have fulfilled all of these aspects in my life. And that's why I feel happy and I love what I do. and we make money and we get to live the lifestyle we want to live. And I love my business. I absolutely love it. I'm so certain about it, and I don't have those feelings I had before in a job or anything like that. So this is something I really urge you to take some time in. If you want to screenshot this or write it down, start with these 4 questions, right? And go with your gut. This is the starting place before you get into the research phase, which I'm going to talk about next. Okay, so let's just dive into the next one. So once you've completed your Ikigai, you can now begin to brainstorm keywords about it. You can write down at least 20 different keywords, like a brainstorm session, and then based on your list, what niche would best encapsulate what you have written. If you have multiple niches, that's okay, because you will now go into the research phase. So research, time to do your research. Based on your keywords and niche selection, go on Google and Facebook and begin searching those keywords. It's best to check out related Facebook pages and blogs, as well as info sites, so you can see the different business models within that niche. And it's good to get ideas, because you can see, when you search on Google and you go to someone's blog, check out their fan page, check out what they're doing, what they're selling, and it can give you ideas of the path you can take. And this will eventually help you to decide what you see yourself doing. Even if you don't completely know how yet, that's okay. You can learn. The easiest business model to start with, again, it's affiliate marketing, right? The one thing to consider. The easiest business model to begin with is the one where you sell other people's products, because you are not creating an entire business from scratch. When you sell as an affiliate partner, as a distributor for a network marketing company, or even a business opportunity, you do not have to create the back end portion of the business. So that way you can focus on less skill sets to learn to launch your business. So it's as simple as, you can go on Amazon and you can become an affiliate. You can share Amazon products you love that are in your niche, and that's where you can start. It's that simple. It's not more complex than that. And I think when people, people are surprised when they see how simple it is, because they've gotten into so much information overload that they feel like there's some magic formula or magic pill, but there isn't. It's just choosing your niche, it's choosing a product, and then launching your business and building your brand and going from there, right? Or maybe you already have a service you can provide, or whatever it is. So how to find niche products to sell. When doing your research, once you have research on Google, including blogs as well as fan pages, the reason I tell you to go on fan pages, you can go on Instagram too, is you got to see the social aspect of it. Because in the social setting, Google actually, with blogs and things like that, they go with engagement now. And so social media drives traffic. And so you got to see how they run their pages, what they're doing, and that kind of thing. And then remember, if you're having doubts, there are 3 niches that have and always will require customers and will always have customers: health, wealth, and relationships. These 3. So if you're not sure, look in one of these and ask yourself, could I go into any one of these niches? And then go from there, right? Start doing research. One of the biggest marketplaces for digital products is ClickBank. ClickBank.com. And this is an excellent place to start, because they have such a wide range of niche products, digital products, along with the statistics you need, such as popularity, average sale price, average sales. It's all there. So you can easily, if you don't, you can do some research on Google, you can kind of check out people's stuff and get some ideas. And then you can go to ClickBank. They have literally a whole marketplace of products, and you can choose the niche, you can choose very specific items, and you can sell them under the cover of your brand, right? And ClickBank will give you all the information you need, because it shows you which are the popular products, what's actually creating sales, what are people succeeding with. It shows you all the numbers right there. It shows you when you're choosing the products. And that's as simple as it is. You can sell an ebook. You can, you don't have to create it yourself. It's all there. You can just start recommending it. And that's it. It's that simple. So another way you can find products to sell in your niche is to go to websites that sell the products and scroll down to the bottom to see if they have a referral affiliate program. People don't know that you can do this, but many sites online these days, they have an affiliate program, because there's so many people going online, building businesses and referring. Influencer marketing on Instagram is huge. They're just recommending products, right? So everyone wants to get on the bandwagon, because an affiliate program, when it's attached to someone's product, it means that that company is getting other people to market their product for them. So it's like a win-win, right? For example, so this is something so simple, right? And I see so many people that, for example, love Louise Hay. So if you are in the personal development niche and you love listening to audios and reading books from authors like Louise Hay, then you can visit hayhouse.com, right? They sell courses, books, audios. Scroll down to the very bottom and they have a free affiliate program you can join. It's free to join. You just sign up and you can get started, right? I think they ask you for like a website, but you can build a little website in WordPress and then you're done, right? And you can get started and you can start building your business, which means you're already past that first stage of just getting it started, right? It's that simple. And you can just choose products. They have, they pay through PayPal. They have a whole back office and it's right there, right? So how to grow your business online now. So let's say you've done this, you've done your research, you've done your Ikigai. Well, you're ready now to grow your business. So let me just check on Facebook if I see, I think everything's good. I hope I'm still online. All right, so how to grow your business online. Actually, let me just double check here. Okay. Sorry for the infinite screen. So how to grow your business online. Once you have chosen your product service, you will now be focused on growing your business, right? This means you can now learn how to do anything. I Googled it today. There's like over 50 different marketing strategies you can do. There's paid advertising, there's email marketing, there's SEO. There are many ways to market, right? Social media, and any of these you can choose, and then you can start to build your audience of leads and buyers. And then what you're doing is you build a solid foundation and then continue to focus just on daily actions that will lead to more leads and then converting into sales. So if you feel stuck in this phase and don't know how to move forward, no worries. That's what we are here to help you with. This is kind of like our specialty. And I do want to just ask if anyone has any questions so far, just post them. And I'm going to see if Romeo's listening. If he can send me questions, if he sees any questions on the page, or I can jump into the page after and answer them. Actually, let me just see here. I'm going to jump on the page quick, guys, just to check it out and see if there's any comments there. So if you do have a comment, just leave it there now, and I will check it out. So one sec, let's see. Okay, no question. So if you guys do want to post questions, I can see the page. All right. So where we're at, like I was sharing, I'm grateful every day that we went down this path. It was scary and uncertain, but because of that, we have built a true passion-based business online. And I do know that it's possible for everyone. I believe as entrepreneurs, we're here to help others and make an impact in this world, which means it is our responsibility to expand our potential and profit big so we can keep helping more and more people. This is how we have been able to make an impact and profit big in our business using the principles and strategies we teach. So now, although I don't guarantee any results or guarantee that you will make money doing what we do, because first, that would be irresponsible of me, and second, I don't know you, and third, I don't know if you will actually put the work in and put the effort in. There's no guarantees here. That's why as an entrepreneur, again, you have to be adaptable and be open to change, right? And testing and learning. But most importantly, we've been able to duplicate our results by sharing our same formula with our clients and help them get staggering results. From making their first commission online to making autopilot leads and sales in their sleep, to reaching their first 10K month online, to following their dreams, spending more time with their families, and traveling the world. Through the years, we have failed a lot. I can't even tell you how much. Been challenged and crossed many hurdles. We have had a ton of breakthroughs in our business, and by working with our clients and team, there's always one question we ask ourselves. And this is the kind of thing that keeps me up at night. This is the stuff we talk about. What could have helped us succeed faster when we first got started? This is like the driving question behind our business. And this is something I always ask. When we do create, because we do digital courses, right? Digital products, workshops, things like that. And we always ask, what would have helped us get success faster, right? So I'm always speaking to that kind of that question. How can we help more people break through in their business online? So based off this question, we released a course to a select beta group and have been working with them. The feedback has been amazing. The results have been amazing in a really short period of time. This is just some of the testimonials. So, if you're just starting and only up to webinar 1, so from Tara at the top, wait till you progress through the program and especially hit the traffic modules. It will seriously blow your mind. Kat is the best teacher and mentor. So much to learn. I look at where I was only 8 weeks ago and now what I know and all these things I'm doing and implementing. You've dead set taught me everything. Gives me goosebumps even just thinking about it. Reverse says, Kat, I'm so glad I joined. I'm learning so much and implementing it exactly as you laid out in the course, and it's working. I'm so excited to see actual progression toward my goals. And then Barbara says, one thing that definitely stands out and makes this training special is the amazing support of Kat and Romeo. They lead with a heart, and it just continues on. Just don't really want to be reading. I'm happy to be a part of this training, and I would definitely recommend it to anyone who is searching for a step-by-step guide on how to build a successful business online and enjoy a freedom lifestyle. So, this is the stuff that makes me want to pinch myself, because the testimonials and feedback, they're incredible, and it's a cool feeling to know that something I've done, which, I even question myself, is it going to be okay? I mean, I was nervous for this live training. I haven't done a big live training in a while. And, but this is what it's for, right? It's to help people finally break through. And just like I loved, when I was a personal trainer, seeing someone transform, it's really an amazing feeling seeing someone transform online, and it just like impacts their whole life, or their entire life changes. Like, it's just this incredible thing to see. If you've ever been in a position where you had to be making money in your business months and years ago, or maybe you're currently implementing online marketing strategies, but it's just not working, or maybe you weren't getting enough people to see your business, or struggling to get a single lead or make a sale, or maybe you're feeling lost in this whole online world and don't even know how to start your business online, or maybe you're struggling with mindset issues, self-limiting beliefs, confidence, or a lack of motivation is stopping you. Trust me, I've been there all, and I have seen many people get stuck for really long periods of time due to many of these hurdles, and even just quit and just disappeared. And that's why we have put together this program in a way that makes it easy to follow along step by step with support and clear guidance as to how to move forward. So right now, actually, we've been running a workshop behind the scenes. You guys probably came through Freedom Vibes, but we actually have a personal group that's private that we work with. And right now we're running a live workshop. So we're getting into week 2 now. And so what we wanted to do is something special for you guys. This is going to be extremely time sensitive. So I do urge you to keep watching, because I'm going to be sharing some kind of ridiculous stuff, right? So this is a live workshop. It's called Your Tribe. And our mission in it is to help you build your tribe of passionate prospects and clients fast, just using simple Facebook and Instagram strategies. So the whole purpose of this workshop is to only use Instagram and Facebook. It's not about creating funnels. It's not about creating complex systems or automation or scaling or paid traffic. This is all based on free methods, and it's to help you to kind of not have a huge learning curve, right? But be able to implement and get into action a lot faster and get your business going a lot faster. So before I dive into the details of this program, please be aware that there is an extremely time-sensitive offer, and we're only keeping it open for 72 hours, then we're closing everything. And so I'm going to share that with you in just a sec. This is what the workshop is about. So week 1, we dive into foundations, right? We actually also share, I dive into vision and all of that in the getting started guide. And then we dive into week 1. So building your authority, how to build your brand effectively, understanding your avatar, how to create effective Instagram accounts, how to create your Facebook presence using groups, profile, and fan page. And then we have our own endless summer tribe tools that we offer you. Then week 2, we dive into traffic and leads. And this is actually really cool, because it's funny because I was trying to find kind of a term for it, but we've actually created a very unique way to build traffic that doesn't exist. There's no name for it. And so it's something we just did by ourselves that we found just using very simple kind of strategies and principles. And that's what we teach here in traffic and leads. And we go into Instagram traffic, hashtags, organic traffic, top posts and shoutouts, active networking and first responder strategy, influencer reposting strategy. And we have something really cool going on with a beta for a tribe traffic boost, which actually is a way to boost your content. And then on Facebook, we dive into keyword research, group traffic, fan page growth method. And these are all free methods, right? The next step would be scaling and automation and paid traffic. But this is kind of the foundation where you can do more with less traffic. So you can start to get prospects and customers and not have to be reaching, thousands and millions of people right away, right? And then we have our tribe tools and daily actions. Every week, there's always going to be daily actions because it's an implementation workshop. Then week 3 is creating content that sells. And there's a difference. There's a difference between just creating content and understanding how content is the pre-frame for selling. And that's what we teach here. We talk about influence triggers and emotional buying decisions, how to never run out of ideas, how to tell your story, setting up the sale before the sale, because the sale actually happens before the sale, not when the sale is happening, if that makes sense. And then how to do Facebook, Instagram Lives for fast track results, and how to create content video series for future automation. So it's like creating a lead magnet in a sense, but it's all done on Instagram and Facebook. And then finally, and this is kind of the big missing piece that a lot of people don't know how to implement correctly. So even when they do scale or automate, it's not, they're not converting. We're going to dive into selling with heart and how to build a tribe culture. And what is a tribe culture? It's people that will always follow you. It's like building a lifelong list of prospects and buyers. So we do this using Ikigai method. We show you how to align with your core values to sell with heart so that you're always aligned with what you're doing, because everything is much easier that way. There's no resistance. Understanding promotional and value cycles. This is something very few people explain. Knowing your customers and their needs, how to create lasting tribe culture, because that's where the sustainable business is, right? That's how you create that. And then your daily method of operation. What do you keep doing? What do you focus on daily in your business to continue to grow your prospects and customers? So you actually get access to a membership site, and it's lifetime access. And then we have the private Facebook group where we do live weekly Q&As, and you can ask questions. We have interaction. We have our tribe traffic boost information there as well. So you get lifetime access to your membership site, the 4-week workshop course, which includes the latest Instagram and Facebook updates for 2018 and ongoing updates, and then PDFs and workbooks, access to the private Facebook group for questions and support, weekly live Q&As, and our special tribe traffic boost and tribe tools. So who is this for? If you have an existing business, or if you've gained ideas on this webinar, and you're like, you know what, maybe I can just sell something from ClickBank, or sell something from personal development, right? Anything like that. If you've already kind of chosen something, then you need to get into action and start building your business now, right? There's no point in waiting. We can teach you the strategies, and they are not complex. They're not complex, right? So this course will help you clarify your brand and message. Sometimes maybe it's just an issue of branding, because I do see people branding themselves, but they are missing a lot of pieces. And then creating a solid message, and which is the solid foundation it's built on, and then teaching you marketing strategies just using Instagram and Facebook to build your tribe of prospects and customers. Who it's not for, let's be clear. As with anything in life, you need to put in effort. We put 100% commitment into what we do, into our business, into who we work with, and so you got to give that back, right? 100% by being active and engaged and implementing as you go. So this is only for you if you're ready for a change, ready to plug in, learn, and implement, and just ready to change your life. If you've had a lot of failure in the past, it's okay. Just set that aside and just move forward, right? We pride ourselves on delivering you the highest value and training we can. I mean, you see, I've put together this kind of training, and we put a lot of work into our modules and everything. So imagine how much work we put in when it's a paid course. Right? I mean, most people won't put something together like this, but we do. And it's because we want to, and we want to put the effort and the heart into it. And so we do that with everything we do. So we are doing something absolutely ridiculous. Like, it's actually really ridiculous. We just decided to do this last minute, actually, because we weren't even going to open it. We were going to actually open it later in a few months, but we are running it right now. And we thought, you know, hey, maybe we'll open up a few spots and get some more people in here, because this content is just really awesome. And everyone really wants to get on top of what's happening on Instagram and Facebook right now, because everything's changing, right? 2018, everything's kind of been changing really fast. So normally, you know, we do run courses and workshops and have coaching and things like that. And the minimum price to get started is $9.97. That's the lowest to get started with us in anything that we do. And then, you know, we've had access to our funnels and emails, and access to us can run even up to $6K for programs that we have promoted. So we do charge kind of high ticket, but we don't want this to be a financial hardship for you. And we're actually making it really ridiculously low, because we want to help people. And I see people that are struggling and want help and are open to it. They just need something to take action with. So, you know, when we launch this course in a couple of months, it's going to come out at $497. But for now, we are only opening to 10 spots for lifetime access at $197. This is why I'm saying it's like ridiculous, right? So $197. You can jump into the workshop right now and you can get started. You know, we've already done the week 1 modules are there, the getting started modules are there, and we are getting into the tribe traffic boost right now. So you can get on top of that and kind of be at the forefront of it with our group. And then what we're doing is, after the 72 hours, because this is only open for the next 72 hours, we're closing the cart and we won't be launching it again or opening any spots for at least a couple of months. So doors are open now. You know, I think whatever page you're on, there should be a button that you can click. I'm just going to check on the page, actually, if there's any questions or anything right now. If you do have questions, post them. Let me just refresh this. So yeah, there should be a button. Spots are definitely going to fill up really fast for this, because of everything I've just shared with you. So why only 10 spots? Well, because we are running it with a beta group, and we want to give you as much support as possible, right? We don't want to stretch ourselves too thin. And so that's why we're just opening it up to 10 spots. So this is for you if you've been looking for a way to get your business off the ground, or even to get started online, or if you've been struggling to get your brand or products in front of the right prospects and then convert them into customers. This is for you if you have been looking for ways to build your tribe and a true long-term sustainable business. Again, though, we are looking for action takers, and this is not for you if you're not ready to start learning and implementing the information in this program. It's time to commit to yourself and commit to your vision. And honestly, if you are here right now watching this, I think you're here for a reason. You know, I don't believe in coincidences. So if you do get registered, then right upon payment, you can actually get immediate access to the membership site. You can start watching the modules, and you can plug in with the community. And honestly, I just want to thank you for watching. So just getting a message. So the link is actually yourtribe.online/get. But I think Romeo should post that somewhere. So yeah, I just want to know if you've learned anything, if this webinar has helped you. Share with us in Freedom Vibes. Drop a comment below on the page. If you have any questions, drop a comment below. I'm going to go into the comments after I'm done with the webinar. And really, I just want you to go out and implement. I mean, you can go out right now. If you don't have a product to sell, you can find one. And I've given you all the steps to do that. And if you don't know where to start, then go with the Ikigai method and start asking yourself those questions. And you have a lot to implement here. So whether or not you join the workshop, there's a lot of things to do now. So I hope that you get into major action mode. And I hope this has helped you to clarify a lot of things so that you can move forward without feeling overwhelmed. And just want to end it with, you know, follow your dreams. They know the way. And that's just the way it works. So thank you guys so much for being on here. I really appreciate you. And Pura Vida.